I know it's been a really long time since I've made a video, let alone a proper video where I've actually reviewed products or, did something kind of creative. But I figured that since I haven't made a video in a really long time, I felt that I needed to do a sit-down video to let you guys know where I've been. I know that I don't have to make this type of video or make a video at all letting you guys know where I've been or what's going on in my life, but I feel like I want to let you guys know what's happening because I know that my family watches this, and I know that a lot of you are concerned at just things that have happened in the past few weeks. So as you know in my last few videos, I was supposed to move, and it was a huge deal for me and my husband because the fact that we wanted to get out of this apartment for probably a year now, and it would have just been a really nice change for us to be able to have a better apartment and more modern, and just having a place that we could kind of start over. Not that anything bad has happened in this apartment, but your first apartment when you're married is not quite the apartment or the ideal apartment that you picture yourself in. You always kind of want that kind of better place to start your second chapter of your marriage, or however you want to put it. You just kind of want to find that place that suits you the best. So we thought this place was a really nice place. It was great. We looked it out or checked it out, and it was probably something that we both for the most part really wanted. I think I wanted it more because my husband kind of had an ideal of something else better that we could both have as far as a place to live. The apartment was, in our eyes, all set to be able to move in. They let us know that we're gonna move soon, this weekend. Well, first it was last weekend, and then it changed to this weekend, and we're completely fine with it. We had another week to be able to get things ready, pack more, clean, whatever we needed to do. But then the company called and said that they declined us. I'm not going to go into details, but for personal reasons, they declined us. It wasn't us generally, the people we are, I guess. It was just, other stupid things that the whole apartment complex really messed up, and totally messed up our paperwork and everything. And it was just going to be way too complicated to get things fixed to be able to move in. So we're not moving, and pretty much most of our stuff, most of our belongings, and all of our stuff is packed in boxes. So with that said, we are stuck in the apartment that we don't want to be in with all our belongings in boxes, and we have to unpack. Now I'm not going to unpack fully because we technically still want to move. We just have to figure out exactly what we're doing, whether we want to rent another place, or another idea that we've had is go through a company where we can potentially buy a house. Nothing fantastic. We don't want anything, extravagant. We don't want anything like that. We're not going to build a house or anything like that. We just want something where we can be comfortable and hopefully start a family at some point in the future, and just have a place of our own. And we kind of feel like that is our best route as far as us as a couple, because we just feel like we like that privacy to be able to have our own yard, and not have to worry about neighbors so much. I think that's important for both of us. So I think that we might look into that, and hopefully that works out. And like I said, we're not looking for anything extravagant. We're just looking for a really small, affordable house that we could pay off quickly as possible, and not have to worry about a huge lifelong bill of paying our house off. I mean, even if we find a modular home, I mean, a lot of them are really nice and built well, and they always have a good price attached to them, so that's always good. So we might do something like that. Now, along the lines of that whole thing or catastrophe with moving, a lot of other things have happened. Work has been crazy and it's still going steady. I'm actually working more than I wanted to. I only wanted to work 3 days, but my boss has been sneaking in that 4th day for me because I understand that we are lack of people and lack of employees. And some people have moved to the night shift or some have gone on vacation and whatnot, but I feel like he should have talked to me first before he added that 4th day in, knowing that when I went for the interview, I told him that I wanted 3 days because of the fact that I have a lot to deal with, not only with being a housewife along with working, but I have my Christian responsibilities that I hold dear to me, and I've been lacking on because of the fact that work has taken over a lot of it, and I don't like that. It bothers me. So I have 1 more week of 4 days, and I told him the next week I want to start working the 3 days. And I'm gonna make sure. It's hard. I know it's hard to tell your boss that you can't work, more than 3 days, because mostly people want like 4 to 5 days. So it's kind of hard to tell him that, and he's really nice. He's easygoing and whatnot, but when it comes to him not having enough people to work, he's still nice about it, but he has a way of making you feel not really stupid about it, but he'll just be like, oh, and it must be nice, I need to cut down back to 3 days, which I think I've only worked 3 days once since I've worked there, in a week. So I've been working 4 days consistently, 32 hours, which isn't a lot. I won't say it's a lot, but I have a low stress level and I stress out easy. So if I have to deal with trying to maintain my spiritual well-being, along with taking care of things at home, along with work, all of it together, I get stressed out very easily, and especially if I have lack of sleep, it does not help. So I've just been trying to organize things and just kind of get my life, or our life, me and my husband's life, in order, along with work and all that good stuff. So that's kind of where I've been for the most part. Along with that, I got really depressed for a while, and it was mostly just because starting a new job and trying to do your best to learn what you can. I feel like sometimes they make you learn way too much, that overloads your brain to the point where you're dealing with stuff at home, then you're trying to learn all this stuff at work. That kind of feels a little bit unnecessary to have in your brain. I don't know. And just along with work and different things like that, I've been just trying to do my best to simplify a lot of things, so that way I'm not overloaded with a lot of things that are happening. So along with work and then the whole apartment thing, there was so much confusion about that, and then they decided to decline us, which was so stupid. It was all on their part. And then probably the most depressing thing, I don't want to cry, that has happened is I lost my cat. And I know that a lot of people are going to just say that she was just an animal and just, a pet that you have in your house, and they're just there and you feed them and play with them and whatnot. But I know that a lot of you too, like my family who watch this, understand that she was more than just a pet for me. She was more of my baby, and I loved her very, very much. I've had her since I was 14, she was 11, and she was a great cat, even though some people would say that she was spoiled and that she was full of herself, which technically in some ways she was, because she was my queen. She wanted to be on her high throne for the most part. But we had this connection because she wasn't friendly with everyone, and I kind of wish she was a little bit more friendly with people, but you know, she was to a point. She didn't like a lot of commotion. She didn't like a lot of loud people around her, you know, petting her like crazy. She didn't like that. She liked stuff very soft, you know, people that pet her soft and be quiet. Not only that, but she was always with me. When she was scared, she would want to hide, you know, with me, or she, you know, if I was holding her, she would bury herself in me. And she didn't do that stuff with everyone. You know, she asked me for food. She came to me, you know, when she was, you know, just wanted attention. She only licked my feet, which is very odd for an animal, or a cat rather. But yeah, she only wanted to lick my feet. If anyone else put their foot in front of her face while she was licking mine, she would just be like, and go back to my feet. And I know that when I looked up on that online, they said that's a huge sign of infection. Yeah, a huge sign of affection for the cat, that they trust that person and they're fully committed to you know, being with that person or that human. So these times have been really hard, and I miss her like crazy, and there's times where I know that she's better off because she was suffering. She had a really bad megacolon, and I know I mentioned this before, where she had a lot of trouble with her stomach and she couldn't go to the bathroom a lot of times, and she was always, you know, struggling with that. And there was just nothing I could do about it. I mean, she's had medicines before, she's had enemas. I've done home enemas that are safe. I've checked into them, and the vet has told me about them. So everything I did was safe. I've done natural stuff. And the only other option was this one other medicine that only lasts a little bit, and then their body gets used to it and it wouldn't work anymore. And then not just with that, but there was the option of surgery, which would have cost, I don't know, hundreds to $1,000. I don't really know the price, but I know that it was way too much that I could ever afford. And if it was something that would have fixed her, I might have considered it. But the fact that a lot of times the vet has told me that sometimes or for the most part, it always backfires. That surgery always backfires. I mean, they don't ever fully recover from it for the first part. And the second part, you know, they might not be able to do the surgery because it might just be too severe. So, I mean, I've done my research on it, and that was the only choice, was to put her down. And even though it was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my entire life, I mean, this cat has been like a child to me ever since I was young, and to put her down was like, you know, horrifying. It was horrifying for me. And I was with her the whole time, and you know, even though I know she was in pain with her stomach, and I know that she's happier, it's still just hard. It's very hard to not have her here. I mean, sometimes I'll go around the corner and I see something that kind of looks like what, you know, where she would lay or something, and I'm just like, oh, or I think I hear her growl, you know, because Stewie used to attack her. You probably heard in my videos, her growling. Or sometimes Stewie, because he's getting bigger, he looks a bit like her from behind. So, I mean, there's times where, you know, I think she's there, or, you know, I get like this hope, oh, maybe I didn't put her down, it's just all a dream, she's under the chair or something. But, you know, I'm glad that she's not suffering, because it bothered me a ton, you know, that she was always in pain or and, you know, depressed about it, because they do get depressed. So I am glad for that, but I'll always miss her. She'll always be my baby no matter what. I'll never forget her. And, you know, it's just something that I know we have to deal with right now, is losing our pets and our loved ones. So if you have lost someone or a loved one, or your pet, my sympathy goes for you, because I definitely know what it feels like. I mean, she's not my only pet that I've had to put down or that I've lost. I've lost many pets, but she was the most special to me, so it was pretty painful. So I sympathize with all of you. With that all being said, I wanted to make sure that I explained where I've been. I didn't want to go into full detail of certain things, but so even though everything has been crazy, and with all the things that have happened that has been pretty upsetting or frustrating, I am trying to do my best to just put on a positive attitude and just say to myself, you know, if I feel frustrated or upset about, you know, any of it, if I look back, I try to just think to myself that it's in the past, for one thing. Not only that, but I try to look on the positive outlook of it. And it has been hard. I've had my times where I just want to break down and just be upset about it, but it's not going to help anything. It's not going to make anything better. And my husband has had many talks with me about everything that has happened, and my job being a little tough the past few weeks because we've had the big bosses there, you know, the corporate, and checking things out. And since I'm new, I'm nervous because they're, you know, jerks. And they can be, you know, just frustrating. Like, since I'm new, they're like, oh, what's this? Oh, what's that? You know, and I basically know everything, but it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. So I've just been trying to have a positive attitude, and my husband has helped me with this for the most part, and just trying to make me, you know, look positively on everything. And I am thankful to have him, because he's been there through so much with like my cat. I mean, they didn't get along completely, but he did care about her a lot, and he was there for me the whole time. I mean, not when she, you know, went and with the medicine, but I did have my mom there, which was like the best thing that I could have, like, I needed at that point, was my mom, because she's my best friend and I love her to death. So to have her there, like, even though that was the hardest time, it was just nice to be able to have her there, you know, because I needed a crying shoulder. But my husband drove us, and he was good about the whole thing, and he's been good about it. And, you know, I am just thankful for the people in my life, and having Stewie. Like, even though he's not a Lizzie and he's not the same cat, you know, he's such a goober, and he's my baby too. So I've been concentrating a lot on giving him lots of attention, because he's been a little bit lonely without his buddy. So I've just been with him, doing my best, and I think that's a good reason not to work too much too, is just to be with him, because, you know, he's been pretty lonely. But I've just been trying to be thankful for what, you know, the people in my life, and the pets I do have, or the pet I do have. So I, you know, I'm just grateful that I have a mother who's amazing and who's there for me no matter what. You know, she dropped everything to be there for me, for Lizzie, and to help me with putting her down, explaining things, and, you know, everything like that. I appreciate her so much. Along with that, I appreciate my husband so much. He's been great, and, you know, just been super positive, and it helps me out a lot. And just family members have been there for me too, messaging me and calling me. And I know that I haven't gotten back to some of them because of the fact that, you know, I just been in a down, depressing mode, and I just needed that time to just kind of chill. But I love all of you. If you all are watching, I love you all. And I want to thank each and every one of you, you know, for just being there for me with all my hardships and hard times. And thank you for my subscribers who, you know, keep watching my videos and stick with me and, you know, stay as my subscribers. So I want to thank you all for that. And I want to do more for YouTube, I really do. That's another reason why I want to make sure I work 3 days, because that's all I need, and it will help me to be able to do YouTube because it's a huge hobby of mine. I like making videos, I like doing makeup, I like sharing products with you guys and thinking of creative things that I can do. So I want to do more of that, and if you have any ideas or any ways that I can do that, please comment below your ideas and whatnot. I value, because sometimes it's hard, especially with work. I forget things so much, so if you could just leave a comment of any ideas and whatnot, I will take them and do what I can with them. And yeah, so sorry for this depressing video. If it's depressed you, I'm sorry. I needed to make a video. I needed to talk about things and say things and let you guys know where I've been, and I think talking about it has helped me a lot, just to kind of pan everything out, have everything out there that has been bothering me, or things that I'm trying to work on and whatnot. So I'm hoping to have more videos in the future. I really want to do that, so I'm gonna try my best. But yeah, so I hope that you all are doing well, and if you're going through hardships as well, hang in there. And if you have anyone that you can rely on as far as someone to be there for you, fully appreciate them and say thank you to them, because you probably would be completely alone if you didn't have that person or those people to back you up and be there for you. So give them a thank you and I love you or whatnot. So alright, I should have another video up after this at some point, where I kind of let you guys know what products that I've been loving and some new products that I've gotten, because it's time for one of those videos. So I hope that you all are doing well, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!